Samia. Thank you for having me here since we met months ago in Tokyo. We have a breakfast with the chairman of the task force of the housing, Mr. Hashi, which is also the brother of the president, the new president of Indonesia. Indonesia in 10 years before, led by 4-time mayors. Mr. Jokowi was 2-time mayors in Solo, very small island, and 1-time mayors in Jakarta, the governor of Jakarta. So probably the approach at that time is very micro. But now we are led by a very senior 4-star generals, have a very wide experience in the government. Yes, for more than 20 years is becoming the opposition power, but now is in power. That's why I also myself spending like more than 20 years in the parliament. So my mindset is more like the opposition. But now, after 6 months or 5 months, I was appointed by the president to sit in the cabinet as the Vice Minister of Housing and Settlement. I think the way I see the discussion, since we have a lunch and then now, we can have the soul of the conclusion that we need a more integrated policy regarding the city and housing. That's what I saw in Indonesia. While we have through 89.5 million people of Indonesia, which is now becoming like 93 million families. So it creates very big demand for the housing. We have a 15 million backlog of new housing demand, and we have 26 million of substandard housing, the house that need to be renovated all over Indonesia, which Indonesia consists of 38 provinces and 514 cities and regency. We have like 80,000 villages or rural areas, 12,000 of them living in the coastal area. While we in the ministry trying to identify the problem of housing development and settlement in Indonesia, I find that the first problem that we have is deregulation. That's why among all the ministries that I trying to observe, including the Ministry of Village, there is no regulation and also financial going to build the settlement and the house. We have the Ministry of Marine that responsible for the coastal area, but they only responsible for the farmers and the tools of the farmers, but not the house. So now we try to create and regulate the new regulation that will be include all the key elements to build the house for the people. 15 million backlog of the new home and 26 million backlog of the renovation, substandard housing. And the first issue and the main issue regarding the building the house is the higher price of the land, which is almost 40% of the price of the house is because of the very high price of the land, especially in the city. And also 10 to 15% goes to the license. So license and land take more than 50% of the price of the housing. That's why in the city, the price of the house becoming non-affordable to the lower income. Now the government decided that all the government land will be free and inviting everyone to build the house in the city, the vertical housing. So the price of the house in the city, in the central of the city, all over Indonesia, will be only 50% because the government will take care the price of the land and the license. And that's why we met with many international organizations in Jakarta, including World Bank, Islamic Development Bank, Asian Development Bank, Asian Infrastructure Bank, and also some other donors organizations. And when I explained the whole idea of the demand of Indonesian government to build a mega project for the housing of the people of Indonesia, they are very interested to join. And that's why when we met with Islamia a month ago, and we also introduced this idea, I think as part of Indonesian process to becoming member of the OECD, and I get the honor to be invited here. Thank you very much for having me. And Indonesia is ready to become part of the building of probably one of the biggest housing development in the history of humankind, probably, because that is the demand from my president. The president has only two main ideas. Number one is stop corruption, and the second one is stop the gap. That's why in the second way to stop the gap is the government give a free meal to almost 80 million students in Indonesia, and now we go to build the house of the people of Indonesia. I think, again, we invite you all to visit and see us, and we will also really keen to join and discuss all the experience that has been doing by mayors and also public policy makers in this forum. Thank you very much. Thank you.